So you're the Rick from Alexandria. This whole time, it was you.
You called your men in for nothing. The fight's out there, it's just me in here.
Did you hear what I just said? I know who you are.
Hey everybody, we're gonna settle your shit, Officer Friendly. This is gonna be my episode 3 video. I think they intended for the Morales storyline with Rick to be the big thing for the episode, but really Morgan and Jesus wound up being the most compelling storyline, and then you had all the Gregory stuff at the end of the episode, which I probably liked the best just because of the Monty Python level comedy. But let's do top 10 WTF and comic book Easter eggs. There's a new round of the Walking Dead giveaway, and I'm going to make some changes to the way I do Walking Dead videos that I'll explain at the end of the video. But we start with number 10, Ezekiel and the Kingdom, doing that thing where they jump backwards and forwards in time, where Ezekiel's slowly going a little bit nuts through the course of the episode. Not one person, we're not going to lose one person, so you immediately know the moment he says that at the beginning of the episode, they're definitely going to lose some people by the end. But they really stretched that storyline out, and because of the admission in last week's episode, fake it till you make it, baby, I think they just want to show you how this is all affecting Ezekiel. Like, he's very good at being a peacetime king, but they're at war, like a prolongated war, so everybody is slowly losing their shit. But number 9, couple great lines from Morales. We're gonna settle your shit, Peaches. This is more of that dark Rick storyline. What would Rick look like if he had lost everything that Morales had lost? Like, Morales is supposed to be the evil version of Rick because he lost his family, whereas Rick only lost a few people. But they really want you to start hating Morales as quickly as possible because he sounds like a true believer savior. Like, I was sleeping myself to death in a trailer when they found me. You're the Rick that they've been talking about this whole time? We learned their names for Maggie are the widow, and they call Ezekiel the king. I love the Maggie one too, especially when they bring it back around to Glenn when he tries to explain all those season 1 characters that Morales used to know who have since died. Number 8 was the Goodbye Eric scene. So I was never particularly attached to the character. It was wonderfully performed. The actor playing Aaron just totally sold that, especially when you see Eric walking to meet the herd at the end of the episode, like, oh yeah, he's definitely dead. So baby Gracie probably going to make it to Hilltop just fine. But number 7, Jesus gets super biblical. They lead the people out of Egypt, make all the Bible jokes that you want about Jesus leading his people out of Egypt. But as awesome as all that was, this is really Morgan's storyline, like watching him slowly crack. And they even put Jared right next to him in all those scenes, like he's still being a dick every chance he gets, anybody that gets within earshot of him. So Morgan is just the absolute worst person to try and do that to, because he already wants to kill them all. But the thing about this is it's really just another version of the storyline with Tara from last week's episode, where she was butting heads with him because she wanted to kill them all. They followed up with that a little bit too, but it's the same storyline. It's the same basic conflict. Like, we need to kill the saviors. We don't want to keep prisoners. They're terrible people. But we jump back to Morales, number 6. He explains what happened to him. We never made it to Birmingham, Rick. I think pretty much everybody assumed that the moment we found out that he was a savior, like, oh, something pretty dark probably happened to him. We get a shout out for Lori, Shane, Andrea, Glenn, all the people they lost, but these were people that Morales knew. So I think Rick was trying to connect with him. Like, remember those people from way back in season 1? They're all dead now. Then proceeds to tell him what Negan did at the beginning of season 7, where he killed Glenn in front of pregnant Maggie. And you start to see the light bulb go on in Morales' head, like he's putting the dots together. Wait a minute, the widow that we keep talking about, that's Maggie. Morales even does the I'm Negan line. Yeah, I'm Negan, Rick. Like, yeah, he is fully drunk the Savior's Kool-Aid. So number 5, I think that was mostly so that you don't demonize Daryl too much for killing Morales, although I think most people were upset by this because they brought him back and it seemed like such a big twist, like, oh, you can't kill him right away after you bring him back after being gone for this long. Nope, they totally did it. They totally killed him 1 episode later. That turns into more of a Daryl-Morgan type storyline, where like Daryl and Morgan are slowly getting darker and darker. Like, you had this whole idea of Rick with the flash forwards, like my mercy prevails over my wrath. So you know exactly what Rick's arc is going to be this season. But it sounds like the biggest conflict isn't going to be with the saviors. The biggest conflict is going to be within the group, with people like Daryl and Morgan who have just had enough of the shit. Like, we can't trust the saviors, just kill them all, let's get rid of them. If anybody just goes completely off the rails, I think it'll be Morgan. I don't think they want to demonize Daryl too much. But number 4, the rolling walker attack. This was so funny. So all the saviors are still tied up. Morgan really wants to kill them, and now it's almost like the perfect excuse because they're still bound together. But let me know in the comments if you did laugh a little bit when you saw them just rolling down into the saviors, because you hate those characters, like you really want Jared to die. And now it almost seems like the perfect opportunity to kill him off in some moment of comedy. But number 3, Jesus versus Morgan. This was a great fight because Jesus is an amazing fighter, Morgan is an amazing fighter, and you don't know how crazy he's gone. He's still in Terminator mode, but he backs off it just a little bit. Jesus is like, are we done? You gonna keep going? So I have a couple criticisms for the storyline, but the performances were amazing. The Walking Dead has amazing actors that are capable of delivering just amazing scenes. It's just that sometimes the plot gets really redundant and they really stretch stuff out. So we've essentially been getting the same storyline recycled from Tara's character from last week's episode through Morgan's character. It's the exact same argument. Mercy, we have to kill them. No, we can't kill them. Just over and over and over. So I think it's just wearing on people's patience a little bit. Usually the complaint about The Walking Dead is that they turn 1 hour of story into like 4 episodes of content. But probably my number 1 moment from the episode was actually that comedic Gregory Monty Python scene from the end. I was really hoping they would go for it. And when the gate opened, I was like, oh no, they're not going to do it. But then sure enough, Maggie sticks her head through and starts harassing him a little bit. Like, what the hell are you doing here? Who's Gabriel? I have no idea who that is. Like, he pretends not to know the person he just stole the car from. Then they have the funny moment with the pancakes. Remember that time you ate that little girl's pancakes? What are you talking about? I did not eat those girls' pancakes. And he just begs and begs and begs until Maggie lets him in, then turns around immediately in this comedic reversal when they roll up with the saviors. We can't let them in. They're terrible after all the things they've done. So I'm actually really happy with what they're doing with the Gregory character because he's going to die. Like, it's just a ticking clock on his life in some funny WTF moment. But they've gotten to the point where they made him such an insufferable character that it's become comedic, so they're leaning into the comedy of that situation. But just to clarify that twist at the end with Rick, Daryl, and the shooter. So he's like, tell me, where did those guns go? And he says, oh, they went to Gavin's compound. He's talking about these giant automatic rifles. Those are the guns that were used to shoot down Ezekiel's men. So that was why they cut the episode that way, like where you learn where the guns went, then you actually see the guns open fire on everyone. But obviously Daryl breaking Rick's word and killing him on the spot is just highlighting more of the Daryl versus Rick storyline. It's just another version of the Morgan storyline with Jesus. Like, how dark is Daryl going to get before he comes around to Rick's mercy storyline? But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite moment from the episode, and what do you think of The Walking Dead so far this season? I think most of the complaints are justified. I mean, it's getting to the point where we're in season 8, so people are like, how much longer can this go? There was a funny headline the other day where it was like, Walking Dead threatening us with 50 more years of The Walking Dead. So I think we've gone to the place where the interest level has dropped to the point where people like to check in with The Walking Dead every once in a while, but week to week, people are starting to lose enough interest. So what I'll probably do is I'll just wait to do my next Walking Dead video till the mid-season finale, because usually, I mean, that's kind of what they do now, is they like stretch stuff out, then they'll do the really big moments during the finales and the premieres. So we'll try that for the rest of the year. Then if that ends up working out, then we'll try that for the rest of the back half of the season. And it'll be Walking Dead videos for every couple of episodes for like the really big moments. And then we can talk about the whole season after it's all done. But there's a new round of the giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to the last winner, Mike Masita. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for all my Walking Dead videos, and you can click here for all my Thor Ragnarok Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.